Let's talk about a guy named Arnold Sommerfeld. He was a titan of physics, a mentor to some of the biggest names in science, and a key architect of the quantum revolution. But you've probably never heard of him. And his story? Well, it comes with one of the biggest mysteries in the history of science.
So get this. Imagine you're at the absolute pinnacle of your career. Your colleagues, we're talking Albert Einstein here, think you're a master. And every single year, your name gets put forward for the highest honor there is. Not just once, not 10 times, but 84 different times.
And here's the kicker. You never win. Not once. That is the bizarre central puzzle of Arnold Sommerfeld. How on earth could a physicist who was so respected, so foundational to everything we know, get passed over for the Nobel Prize again and again?
I mean, just let that number sink in. 84. This wasn't some fluke or a lucky streak. This was decades of the world's top scientists saying, year after year, that this guy's work was revolutionary and groundbreaking.
And the grand total of wins? A big fat 0. The contrast is just wild. So to get to the bottom of this, we really have to ask two things. Who exactly was this man? And what did he do that was so darn important?
All right, so to crack this mystery, first we have to build the case for why he should have won in the first place. We need to really appreciate just how monumental his work was in that crazy, exciting time for physics in the early 20th century.
You see, the story really starts with Niels Bohr. He came up with this amazing model of the atom where electrons zipped around in neat little circles. It was a huge breakthrough, but it was incomplete. The model didn't quite line up with the real-world data, and that's where our guy, Sommerfeld, comes in.
He gave Bohr's model a massive upgrade in 2 brilliant moves. First, he suggested that the orbits weren't perfect circles. They were elliptical, which just makes more sense. Then, he applied Einstein's brand new theory of special relativity, because, these electrons are moving incredibly fast. You put those two fixes together, and suddenly, the model worked beautifully. And get this, out of all that math, something incredible emerged. A number. We call it the fine structure constant, or alpha. This one little number, roughly 1 over 137, defines the strength of the force between light and matter. It is one of the pillars of the universe, and Sommerfeld is the one who introduced it to the world.
And believe me, he didn't stop there. The guy was a machine. He did pioneering work with X-rays. He developed the modern theory for how electrons cruise through metals. He introduced critical new quantum numbers that are basically the foundation of modern chemistry. Seriously, any one of these things could have snagged him a Nobel.
So, the case is pretty clear, right? His research was more than worthy. But here's the twist. The real answer to our puzzle isn't buried in his formulas or his theories. To find it, we have to look at his true, undeniable legacy. You see, at the University of Munich, Sommerfeld wasn't just a researcher, he was a genius maker. He created this legendary incubator for brilliant minds. He had an unbelievable talent for spotting raw potential and just helping it explode. He was the ultimate talent scout for physics. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to what Albert Einstein wrote to him. He said, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, "What I admire most about you is that you somehow managed to just stamp these young talents right out of the ground. I mean, coming from Einstein, that's about the highest praise imaginable."
And this right here, this is the whole story. Just look at this list. Werner Heisenberg, Wolfgang Pauli, Hans Bethe, Linus freaking Pauling. These aren't just former students. They're the people who built the next 50 years of science. It finally clicks, doesn't it? Sommerfeld didn't win a Nobel Prize. He created Nobel laureates. And he did it in this incredibly cool, modern way. He wasn't some distant professor in a stuffy lecture hall. Nope. The guy owned a ski hut in the Alps. They'd go skiing all day, and then at night they'd sit around and hash out the deepest questions in quantum mechanics. He treated them as collaborators, as a team.
So, this brings us to the big finale, the solution to the puzzle. We've been asking the wrong question this whole time. The story of Arnold Sommerfeld isn't about the prize he never won. It's about completely redefining what success in science even looks like.
Think about it this way. On one side, you have a single prize, a medal for one specific discovery. On the other, you have a legacy that lives on in the minds of an entire generation of scientists. A legacy that multiplies and spreads like wildfire. Sommerfeld's influence wasn't a single event. It was a chain reaction that completely reshaped science. And that's the real answer. His true prize wasn't a medal from Stockholm.
His prize was Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It was Pauli's exclusion principle. It was Bethe figuring out how stars generate energy. His real prize was the entire future of the field he loved so much.
So, I'll leave you with that to chew on. Arnold Sommerfeld's story really forces us to ask what greatness is. Is it the personal award you win for yourself? Or is it the minds you shape, who then go on to reshape the world? It makes you think, doesn't it?